Hey everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to ask you the question of, are you leaving your audience naked and afraid? Supporting your learners beyond your learning event is critical for every course and every program. After all, you spend a ton of money investing in and building your program, and your customers spend a lot of money and time investing in learning from you. But what happens when you aren't properly supporting after the learning event? When your program or your course is over and your learners are off on their own? Are you leaving them with the feeling of being deserted or betrayed? Maybe even overwhelmed with how to use your actual information? In this vlog, I'm going to share with you some ideas around creating learning resources so that you don't leave your learners feeling naked and afraid. And this is going to help grow your business and encourage more positive feedback. I have a little story for you about something that I've been going through for the past few months. I recently had a shoulder injury, and I've been going to physical therapy on a weekly basis now for 3 or 4 months. In physical therapy, I learn new exercises and new things that I have to do every week to help improve my shoulder. And it's excellent. I love it. It's making things get better. The problem is that it's really easy to do the work in physical therapy when I have a trained professional right over my back, making sure I do everything correctly. But the problem is that I would get home and I would go to do the same routine, and even though I remembered what it is, I even jotted down some notes, when I'd go to do it myself, it just didn't feel right. I felt like maybe I was doing something wrong. And this actually made me nervous to do my exercises at home, because what if I messed up my shoulder even worse because I was doing something wrong? Now imagine your learners in your program or learning event. You teach them all the things, you give them all the knowledge, but then at the conclusion of the program, they have to go home and they have to do this stuff on their own. This whole concept reminded me of the TV show Naked and Afraid. Have you ever seen it? It's like no matter how much you practice something in a safe environment with other people, it still feels scary when you have to do it on your own, with the potential to mess up or screw it up or just completely do it wrong. It can leave people feeling very overwhelmed, and that's what I felt too. I wanted to do it, but I just wasn't exactly sure how. But what I realized was this was a really great opportunity for me to do what I do best, is to make my own training resources. And because you are helping your audience learn and take new actions, this is a great opportunity for you too, to help your audience and to empower your audience to be able to take action even beyond the ending of your course. Now, it's true that we can create really great lessons using all of Gagne's 9 events and creating a very sound instructional strategy. We can give our learners a great opportunity to practice and receive feedback. But the fact is that until people are actually using this knowledge and the skills and abilities that you gave them on a daily basis, it's still going to feel a little weird to them. It's going to be a little bit scary sometimes, and they're not always going to be sure how to use it. So what we can do is we can provide our audience with additional resources, things that they can take beyond the course to help them when they're in that spotlight and when they have to perform on their own. And these are called job aids. Job aids are little devices that help people remember processes or help them make decisions or even remember key information when they are in a real life environment. Job aids make it easy for someone to perform what they need to perform without that person having to go all the way back through a video training or reference a file on their computer. And job aids are around us every day. You might not even realize this. A really great example of a job aid is when you're on an airplane. Each time you get on an airplane, you go through a learning event where you learn how to buckle your seatbelt, how to put on your oxygen mask, all that good stuff in the case of emergency. You are also told to reference the job aid or the pamphlet in the front of your seat that re-emphasizes everything that you were told. and in the event of emergency is right in front of you in case you forget how to put on your oxygen mask, which hopefully you don't. Another example of a job aid is when you're using a software program and you see the little prompts come up on your screen helping you understand what you need to do or where you need to click next. Those are job aids. Job aids allow us to provide our audience with continuous support, even beyond our learning event. I have a couple of examples of job aids to share with you. The first one is a content summary. So a content summary would maybe be a one-page document that emphasizes the key points of a lesson or a module or something that your learners need to remember. It's a great idea to create a summary document that you can provide people once they've gone through a lesson. This way, if they need to reference it later on, they don't have to go back through an entire training. They have the content summary. It's also important to note that the content summary does not replace the content. You still have to go through the content to understand what's in the content summary, but it'll definitely help you out. The next example of a job aid is a process or procedure document. This could also be a checklist. So what this document is going to do, it's going to highlight a way of doing something, maybe a step-by-step process. So that way when someone is in the real world and they have to perform, they can refresh their memory on the exact steps and make sure they don't miss anything. A checklist is another example of a procedure or process where people can check off the boxes after they complete the steps. Just like with a content summary, a process or procedure or checklist, it doesn't replace the lesson. People still need to gain the knowledge from the lesson, but this is just a summary so that when they need it, they have it available. My last example is a decision tree. A decision tree is sort of like a diagram that helps people make decisions. So you'll see different blocks of information and they can choose yes or no or different response. And it helps somebody in the point of need to walk through the process and figure out exactly what they need to do and how to make that decision. Decisions trees are great because they help people who are especially over analytical or maybe feel stressed in a tense situation. Decision trees will help reduce that anxiety and give them something to walk through and feel confident in the decision that they're making. There are so many ways that you can create job aids. You can keep it simple and use a Microsoft Word document or a Google Doc. You can even create a PDF using a free tool such as Canva. I also like using mind maps for decision trees and process flows, and my favorite tool for that is MindMeister. However you choose to make your job aids, make sure that you are keeping at a high level and just the most essential information that somebody needs on the job. It's not meant to replace any type of other training. So I really want you to think about this. Think about how you can empower your audience even after your program ends. What resources and job aids can you provide them to really ensure their confidence in taking action and making decisions and moving forward with all the information they just learned? You are in this to create an amazing product for your learners. And if they complete your course and it's one and done and now they don't really know how to move forward or they're scared to take action, you're not going to get that great of feedback, and it's really not going to change anyone else's lives. So use these strategies. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks.